Welcome to Puvanur RBIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RBIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Today we are going to see some interesting ideas of legendary Mridangam Vidwan Palani Sri Subramaniam Pillai. Before I get into the class, I will start this class with a Thirukkural. Kalam karudi irupar kalangadu ஞாலம் கருதுபவர் உலகம் முழுவதையும் தம் கைக்கொள்ள கருதுபவர். If a person wants to conquer the whole world, வலிமையுடையவராயினும் அவ்வலிமையை பெரிதாக கருதாமல் தக்க காலத்தையே எதிர்பார்த்து காத்திருப்பவர். Even if he is completely powerful, you should not use his power instantaneously. You should wait for the right time to use that power. That's the meaning of this Thirukkural. With this good thought, we will enter into the class. Today we are going to see some basic fingering techniques of legendary Mridangam Vidwan Palani Sri Subramaniam Pillai. I learned this for about 8 to 9 months from Sri K.S. Kalidas Mama in the year 2014, just more inquisitive to understand this antique school of thought. So I felt like it's just to understand a school, it's just not enough to go for 1 or 2 days or attend somebody playing, but unless you go and learn from the particular school, you may not tend to get an idea of the complete idea of that school. And that's the reason why I spend so much of time with several stalwarts. I deem it a great honor. Always feel, I would like to repeat this fact, it's something like you finish your 12th and go into the graduation. There's no disregard for the teachers of the 12th. There's no disregard for the teachers of the graduated, whom you got graduated with. There is no disregard for the teacher whom you post-graduated with. There's no disregard for the teacher whom you have done research. So it's a complete learning, and any student who has the urge to learn, to me, I think it's an open book. People should learn, and then that's the way they will get to evolve their own style. And that's my personal opinion. The reason for me to get to know these several school of thoughts is more to understand and enrich my knowledge, rather than having a disrespect with any teacher. I always wanted to table this fact, and I also urge all of you to learn from other schools, because that's the only way to know. You will know the differences, and then you will get to know what is good and what is bad. So with this, I'll get into the class. The fundamental change of a complete phenomenal transformation change is the anchoring of the finger itself is different in Palani school of thought. The anchoring of the finger, typically in Tanjavur Bani, it is you anchor with the ring finger. In this school, you anchor with the middle finger. So that's a big difference, that he has introduced that right in his first lesson. Meaning, for when you have to play Tati Domnam, typically this is a normal way of playing. Like each one is an independent stroke, Tha, Dhi, Dhum and Nam. In this school of thought, that is the Dhum has got a shift of understanding. Tha, Dhi. When you play Dhum, you anchor with this finger and Dhum and Nam together, and Nam also you play with this. Anchoring with this finger, and then you play it. sort of anchoring you're going to get into. And some of the basic lessons goes like this. Ta kidataga ta, kitta kitta. Ta kidataga ta, kitta kitta. Ta kidataga ta, kitta kitta. Tik kidataga di, kitta kitta. Dum kidataga dum, kitta kitta. Nam kidataga nam, kitta kitta. That's one of the lessons as basic lessons. Typically, all other basic lesson is still the same. All these are the same as any other lessons. The anchoring is little different, where when you play num and dum, dum is dum plus num here, that's what is in the school a differentiator. The next important thing I wanted to cover, talanta kitataka takatari kitataka. Before I get talanta kitataka takatari kitataka, the Muruchapu and Arachapu was introduced very, very early as a beginning lesson in primary school. Muruchapu is one what you play at the peripheral, like there is, if you look at it, there is a black layer, there is a outside layer. In between is chapu, whatever traditional way, that is way. As you cut it across the black, right in the middle, that is the Arachapu. What he says is it's a sa and the male satchama. That's how it should be. This chapu and that arachapu, the both this it is a lower sa and the higher sa. That's how it should sound. Then importantly, dim should also sound to the tune, and the dum is the kir sajam. That's how you have to align, tune your instrument in such a way it should sound like a kir sa when you play this dum, and then when you play this dim, that is the sa. Chapu is also sa. And then Arachapu is male sa. So it's perfectly tuned. Like a 4 strings in the tambura, the 4 parts of the mridangam is well aligned in Palani Subramaniam Pillai. That's what they used to say, which is dum, kirsajam, dim is again sa, chapu, arachapu. All when it sounds together, it's like a tambura. So that's how he tunes the instrument in an immaculate way. The 3 important Gayatri Mantra lessons of basic lessons of Palani Subramaniam Pillai, whatever I learned, I will teach you. The lesson goes like this: Tham takka dhinna, tham tatta dhinna, tatta dhinna. Tham tarikita, dhim tarikita, tam kita tat dim tarikita, takutaka tarikita. Tatta dhinna, dhim tatta dhinna, tatta dhinna. The next is with dim. Dhum tatta dhinna. Nam tatta dinna, tatta dinna. This is how the first lesson goes. It has so much, a lot of combinations are there. I have to play slowly and show you using all the phrases. The next increasing difficulty, tankita tatta dinna, tankita tatta dinna, tatta dinna, tankita taka, dinkita taka, dhumkita taka, namkita taka, taka tarikita taka. Second set of lesson with an increasing difficulty, tam tatta dinna, getting transformed into tankita tatta dinna, tatta dinna. The third most complex one is deemed as the most difficult lessons in the basic lessons, what I have seen. Tatakita tatta dinna, tatta dinna. Tatakita taka, didikita taka, dudukita taka, nanagita taka, taka tarikita taka. Didikita tatta dinna, tatta dinna. Tatakita taka, didikita taka, dudukita taka, nanagita taka, taka tarikita taka. Dodagita tatta dinna. This is the most difficult lesson. It gives you the perfection of the anchoring of the finger for the first place, and then as you play with a combined stroke with tha and nam and dhum and nam, you get a clarity. These are all the strokes of typical lessons of Palani, one of the most complex basic lessons. Let's now also see some few of his phrases which are very useful and handy. I'm using it as a reference note because I wanted to table as part of my curriculum so that people who are interested to know these phrases can learn it. Tharidana kitataka tikutaka tarikita. Tikutaka tarikita representation is nothing but tagutari kitataka. The next phrase is gugunana kitataka tikutaka tarikita. So first Tharidana kitataka tarikita, gugunana kitataka tarikita, talanta kitataka tikutaka tarikita. Talang tikutaka tarikita. Taridana kitataka Gugunana kitataka takatari kitataka. Taridana takatari kitataka. Gugunana kitataka takatari kitataka. Taridana gugunana taridana takatari kitataka. Gugunana taridana takatari kitataka. Gugunanta gugunana takatari kitataka. Gugunana takatari kitataka. Gugunana takatari kitataka. Tadding takatari kitataka. Takading takatari kitataka. All these are phrases. So, let me repeat it. The phrases of this establishes your hand. Taridana geta taka taka tari geta taka. Guguna geta taka taka tari geta taka. Talang geta taka taka tari geta taka. Talang taka tari geta taka. Taridana geta taka taridana geta taka taka tari geta taka. Guguna geta taka guguna geta taka. Guguna geta taka taka tari geta taka. Taridana geta taridana geta taka taka tari geta taka. Guguna geta guguna geta taka taka tari geta. Taridana geta guguna taridana geta taka taka tari geta taka. Guguna geta taridana geta taka taka tari geta. Guguna geta taka taka tari geta taka. Guguna geta guguna geta taka taka tari geta taka. Guguna geta taka taka tari geta taka. Tating geta taka taka tari geta taka. Tagading geta taka taka tari geta. All these phrases you have to practice. Tarigugu geta taka taka tari geta taka. Tarigugu geta taka tarigu geta taka tarigu geta taka taka tari geta taka. Tarigu geta taka taka tari geta taka. Tang geta taka tari geta taka tang geta taka tari geta taka taka tari geta taka. Tari geta taka tari geta taka tari geta taka tari geta taka tari geta taka. All these are phrases which you can practice. This tari geta taka as I taught you, you can use it as namta ki tata ki tata ki tata ki tata ki namta ki namta ki namta. I taught you, you can combine in any way and you can have n number of combinations. Next one, gina geta taka tari geta taka, gina geta taka tari geta taka taka tari geta taka. This arachapu is introduced here. Gina geta taka tari geta taka, gina geta taka tari geta taka taka tari geta taka. Gina geta taka tari geta taka, gina geta taka tari geta taka, gina geta tari geta taka, gina geta taka tari geta taka. Arachapu with the dom and also with tha. You can use like that. Taggana geta taka taka tari geta taka, tagagana geta taka, tagajuna geta taka taka tari geta taka. That's the next phrase. We will see some more phrases. Tattalang taka talang talang tat gina geta taka tattalang taka talang tat gina geta taka taka tari geta taka. Tak gina geta taka gina tak gina geta taka taka tari geta taka. The same thing you can play with a up and down. Tak gina geta. All these are the rugged phrases of Palani Subramaniam Pillai school of thought. So what are the key things what we saw here? The anchoring of this middle finger is the key. The Thati Domnam, the way he has approached Thati Domnam was different. Dom is played along with Nam to have that ruggedness. And the reason why he has anchored this finger is when he plays the flourish of here, since you are anchoring this, you will be able to play with this finger and the weight of this ring finger as well. That gives a balance. these are all the things which we will see as we move forward. With this good introduction, we will stop this class. The most important basic lessons what I covered here is tam tatta dinna, tam tatta dinna, tatta dinna. Tangida tatta dinna, tangida tatta dinna, tatta dinna. Tadakada tatta dinna, tadakada tatta dinna, tatta dinna. Tangida teka, dingida teka, tangida tatta dingida teka, teka darigida teka. Tangida teka, dingida teka, dumgida teka, namgida teka, teka darigida teka. Tadakada teka, didigida teka, dodagada teka, nanagada teka, darigida teka. All these are tougher strokes, and when you practice this, you get a good hang of it. And here, for the ruggedness, if you look at the school of thought, Gugunana Getataka is Prayogam Romanana Rike. When you play this Gugunana, look at the anchoring. All the anchoring will be it should be effective. You cannot tend to wobble around it. So this anchoring of middle finger initially is going to be very tough transformation. If you want to know both school of thoughts, you need to practice both school of thoughts. Just like that, no, you just can't anchor and play Palani school, which cannot come on the fly. You need to know sustainably practice to get that anchoring perfect. It's very difficult to get it, on the fly. And then Tarigu Gedataka was another good phrase, I feel. He uses the Arachapet. Essence of Palani Subramaniam Pillai school of thought. We will get into the actual sequences which are basics in nature, but you will only when you know the basics of nature, you will be able to at least appreciate how he had played as in an advanced form. We will see in the next class how it's approached. I will conclude this class with the Tirukkural. Ukkam udayan udukkam porudagar takkarku perum thagaithu. What is the meaning of it? முயற்சியுடையவன் அடங்கியிருப்பது சண்டையில் ஆட்டுக்கடா தாக்குவதற்கு வேகம் பெறுவதற்காக பின்னால் செல்வதை போன்றது. A person who has the ability to attempt again and again for success, he will wait like a goat which actually goes back only to take more power and more speed, and that is the characteristic of a person who has an ability to achieve success by repeatedly attempting it. With this good thought, I am concluding this class. We will see you in the next class with much more interesting ideas of the legendary Mridangam Vidwan, Palani Sri Subramaniam Pillai.